Allow me to introduce you to the artist James Goldcrown, or as he signs his artwork, J. Goldcrown. He's an artist who was born in England but now lives in New York City and LA. And he is what's considered, among many things, a street artist, an artist who creates artwork that can be seen on the streets. And his most famous works are called his Bleeding Heart murals, or sometimes his Love Wall murals. They're said to be the most photographed murals that have been created. These murals have become so popular that many people don't just want to see them on walls. In fact, companies have asked him to start designing his work on things like suitcases and even other fashions as well as shoes. Boys and girls, artwork can go beyond just walls. It can enter into our daily lives, just like the work of J. Goldcrown. We're going to create masterpieces inspired by him today.
To create your masterpiece, you're going to need to find one of your white papers. Whether you only have the small white papers left or if you have your large white paper left, you want to pull out one of those. Now, I would prefer that you use the large white paper if you have any of those left. I know that some students mentioned that they had used these for other projects. So if you only have a small one left, that's fine. But please take out your large white paper if you have one of those available. Today, you're also going to need some colors because we will not be using spray paint like James Goldcrown. Since we are not actually creating graffiti on the side of your buildings, please don't draw on your parents' walls. Instead, we are going to be using some of the materials that we have at our disposal. I am going to be using my paint sticks because this, I think, works best for this project. It lets me create nice, thick, smooth lines that overlap and mix together a little bit. If you do not have paint sticks, I know some of you bought them, which is awesome, but if you do not have paint sticks, you can also use pastels, you could use chalk, you could use marker, or you could use crayon. So I would kind of go in that order for what you would choose. So my first choice would be paint sticks. If you don't have paint sticks, but you have your oil pastels, that's another option. If you don't have oil pastels, then I would go to markers. If you don't have markers, you could try chalk pastel. If you don't have chalk pastel, then just stick with your crayons, okay? As long as you have something that has bright colors. So I'm going to go with my paint sticks. Now, the first thing we need to do when you're creating your heart art is talk about how to make a heart. Without knowing how to make a heart, it's going to be very difficult to make an artwork that is full of hearts. So in your sketchbook or on a plain piece of computer paper, just something scrap paper or thin, or in the back of your sketchbook, you can practice hearts with me before beginning on your final copy paper. So grab whatever utensil you're going to be using to draw with, and let's practice a heart together first. To make a heart, it's a symmetrical shape, meaning it's the same on both sides, that is created with curved lines. So I like to start in the center for wherever I'm going to draw my heart, come up, up, up with a curve, and then down on a diagonal, like you're sliding down a line. Then I like to go right back to my starting point. Go up, up, up with a curve like a rainbow and down on a diagonal. Now your heart might not come out completely symmetrical, and that is okay. Especially for James Goldcrown, none of his arts are exactly the same. But I will ask that even if you're using chalk pastel, oil pastel, or paint sticks, go over your heart a few times to get a nice thick line and smooth it out. You can try these just practicing with the same color, or you can switch colors like we would be doing on our project. Another way to make a heart, you can start in the center, come up with a curve, come down on a diagonal. Now, instead of going back to the beginning like I did before, you can also come up on a diagonal and hook back together. Woo, my paint stick came apart. So it can go up and down, up and down. Whether you do it that way or the other way is fine. Practice them both ways. Check it out, see what you like the best. Hearts can be symmetrical like this. They can also be tall and skinny. They could be short and wide. Hearts come in all different shapes and sizes. So on a practice page, try a few hearts. If you are really struggling with how to make a heart shape, try using 2 rainbows with a letter V, and I'll show you what I mean. So if you're really struggling, you can make a rainbow and a rainbow, and then connect them with a letter V. So it would be smoothed out, nice and thick afterwards. So you can try it again with any color to practice. You would make a rainbow and a rainbow, and then connect it with a V. Smooth it out and make it thick. Okay, those are some strategies for making a heart. When you're ready to go and you're done practicing, you can put your practice pages right off to the side. Grab your big white paper or your smaller white paper if that's what you have, and we will start making some hearts together. You can start with any color you want. You can use as many colors as you want, and you can overlap them as many times as you want. Are you ready? Let's go. Notice that as I'm making my hearts, sometimes I'm making hearts that are great big hearts. Stretch them out really, really, really far. Stretch, stretch, stretch to make gigantic hearts. Sometimes my hearts are more of a medium size, and sometimes my hearts can be very small. You can make lots of hearts using each color as they overlap. Don't be worried about your hearts touching or getting messed up. They're always going to fill up the whole paper, so get as close to the edges of the paper as you can without drawing on your furniture. Hard to know when your artwork is finished. If you put too many hearts on, then maybe it'll look jumbled and you won't be able to tell what they are. But if you don't put enough hearts on, then your love wall's going to look empty. So just keep adding hearts until it looks done to you. You can keep playing around with colors, and then when you think you have it filled up and there's no more blank empty spaces on your love wall, you can stop making hearts and let it dry. My heart is just about finished up. If you want to, you can also choose to fill in a few of your hearts so that they stand out. You do not have to color them in. You definitely don't want to color all of them in because that will block a lot of the hearts that have overlapped. But if you want to take a few and color them in to kind of highlight them or have them stand out on your paper, you can do that. to make them stand out. And that's all there is to it. I know that this activity might have seemed really simple for some of you or really difficult for others because hearts can kind of be a tricky shape, just like love can kind of be a tricky thing to define. But I hope that you enjoyed creating your love wall. Depending on the colors you use and the shapes of your heart, everyone's love will look a little bit different. Make sure that you add a picture of your love wall in the Google slide that is attached for this week's assignment. This is a little different than how we have completed and submitted our artwork in the past. However, there are 2 slides in the Google slide that is attached. You're going to answer the questions on the first slide and then take a photograph of your love wall, and you're going to insert that photograph on the second slide that has the white brick wall to create your own virtual graffiti for your own love wall. Then you might think about gifting your love wall to someone in your life that you love. I hope you had fun celebrating love with me this week in art class, and I hope that you know that I love all of you so much. Happy Valentine's Day! Can't wait to see your love walls.